There's a moment every entrepreneur hits. You're working harder than you ever have. The calendar is packed, but the inbox feels endless. That to-do list never gets shorter, and somehow the business still isn't growing the way that it should be. But the problem isn't effort. The problem is leverage. Welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm your host, John Davidson, and every week I'm sitting down with founders and top performers who have found that lever. The hire, the system, that mindset shift that changed everything. This show is for the business owner who's ready to stop being the bottleneck and start being the architect. Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the Leverage Podcast. I'm your host, John Davidson, and I am pleased to be joined by an incredible realtor today who is a bit of a globetrotter. He's going to share a lot with us about international relocation, and her name is Alexia Bertsatos. Alexia, thank you for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. Well, you are based in Arizona now,
Yes.
and this is your geographic focus for your clients. To start out, tell our listeners what makes Arizona a great place to buy a home.
It's very diverse. First of all, the weather, about eight months of the year, we have the perfect weather. Outside of that, I think it has such a diverse lifestyle. So you have different cities that can accommodate different buyers, different kind of buyers. It also has very low taxes when it comes to property taxes, state tax, and it attracts a lot of people. It also it has started to become a global tech hub. So you see a lot of professionals moving in with TSMC opening here, and all the companies that are attracted to be around the tech industry. So we have a lot of diverse buyers stemming from tech industry, healthcare, and also a lot of wealthy buyers who are coming to AZ for tax reasons as well.
Fantastic.
Also, we also have incredible golf.
That's what I was going to add. With my PGA hat on today.
Yes, so we have a lot of people taking advantage of the golf culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll say one that may be off some people's radars. I used to skateboard for a living, and so Arizona actually has a ton of incredible skate parks. So
Yes,
it has a fantastic skateboarding culture if that is your jam as well. I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories, I used to work for a large production company, and we had this national sales meeting, and it was held at the Phoenician in Scottsdale. And the golf courses, the purple mountains, the sunset, and just could not get enough of it. And yeah, it does get hot in the summer, but it's also a dry heat, right? Which is very different than, some other places.
I prefer the 120 dry than the 90 humid. So for me, I'm okay with it.
I'm the same way. I grew up in Central California, and it gets about in that 105, 110 range. I've also lived in Orlando, Washington, D.C. I'm currently in Dallas, where we have a little bit of humidity, but it's nothing compared to Florida. But I will tell you, I'll take the dry heat any day of the week over some humidity.
Yeah. And of course, you're not outdoors when it's 120. We have the infrastructure to accommodate those months. But the rest of the year, the hiking, it's wonderful being outdoors. And of course, we're in the desert in the valley, but 2 hours north, you have Flagstaff and Sedona. And on the other side, we have Pine and the White Mountains. So we have everything in one state.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Now, I know that you are a bit of a globetrotter yourself, and you have lived and worked all over the world, and this has really benefited your business and helping folks relocate to the Arizona area. Share with us where in the world have you lived, and what were the roles that you worked in those other countries?
I grew up in Greece. So my first 18 years I spent in Greece. But then I moved to London. I studied architecture and interior design, and I was supposed to go back to Greece, but I just got sucked into real estate, and I stayed there for 16 years. And then I moved here to Arizona in 2010.
Now you say you got sucked into real estate. What was that moment? And, how did you step into that career? And did you think that, hey, you
I
would
would
be in this
never,
world 22 years later?
that was never the plan. I was to become a great architect.
Ah, interesting.
But I was hired while I was studying by a real estate company in London to work into their inventory and interior design department.
hmm
And I started seeing people doing deals, and I was like, this is really exciting. I went to my employer and I said, is there any way I can double in it? Like, can I try it?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah. And that's how I started. So it was like, oh, this looks fun. And while I'm doing my interior design, my architecture, I can, spend some time doing real estate. Of course, in England, real estate was completely different than in the US, and the structure, how they worked. But I started working in real estate, and then I liked it more and more and more. So I did less and less and less of the interior design part. And
Right.
I started working full time in real estate.
Really cool. So, and then what brought you to the United States and to Arizona?
Simple answer, ASU. I wanted to do a couple of graduate programs that they had, and my plan was to move back to the UK, or after I finished my courses, I wanted to move to DC. But I stayed, and I went back to focus 100% on real estate. I really loved how the real estate business was here in comparison to abroad.
Yeah.
And what I liked was that there is no cap, that you work hard, you can achieve a lot more. When you work in Europe, there is always a ceiling to what you can do, or there was. So the opportunities as agents or real estate advisors, like I call myself, that we have in the US are unlimited. It's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of get out what you put in, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned how the real estate market is different in other ways in the UK and other parts of the world than the United States. What are some of those more significant differences that you experienced?
When I was there, and I don't know, I think things have changed in the last decade, because a lot of American brokerages have opened in Europe. Like I think Keller Williams and EXP have moved to England, and we have Remax in Greece, and Sotheby's, if I'm not mistaken. But when I was working there, and a real estate agent is an employee, so you have a salary, and then you get a really small commission.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and also, I am with Serhan right now, and if you have a listing and you were with a different brokerage, I can show your listing and I can be the buyer's agent. When I was working in the UK, I could only sell our listings, our Serhan listings, and our Serhan listings that were in that area. So if the office had 10 listings, then we could only sell those listings. Buyers did not have representation. It was going to buy a car. They would come to Serhan, and they would come to Coldwell Banker, and then next door it was like a strip mall with 10 different real estate companies. And they would buy from the company that had the listing or the house that they wanted. So that was how it was when I left. I know that there were a lot of changes that happened in the last decade, and a lot of companies have started to adopt what the US was doing. But back then, there was a ceiling in what you could do. I mean, you had your basic, and then you had some commission on top. But how much can you make.
Yeah, I mean, what a lot of US-based real estate agents point to me of, a big reason that they're in the industry as a whole is the lack of a ceiling on your income.
Mm.
And, you're your own boss, right?
Yes.
And that can be a double-edged sword for those who are not workaholics. Um,
For some
but
of us, it's great. For some of us, it's not.
that's right. And for those who it's not, aren't real estate agents for a very long time,
Yes.
because they would rather be, oh, there's Cookie.
Yes, Cookie's here.
How
She's
is
getting
how is
excited.
Cookie how's Cookie doing today?
She's excitable today. She's very excited.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your roommate over there.
Oh, Cookie.
Yeah.
She is almost 2 years old, and she's
Hmm.
a toy poodle.
Cute.
And she thinks she's the boss of the house, and sometimes she is.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, going back to real estate, so you've lived in all these countries, you've built an incredible network. And so how have you been able to effectively develop and maintain relationships internationally and really build this network across borders?
I think the most important thing is what you said is relationships. Why do you do what you do? Like for me, real estate is my passion. Like I am lucky enough to have found something that I'm passionate about, and I see it like I don't see it as work. So when I meet people, and that could be other agents from other countries or even here, or clients in general, or just meeting people out in the wild,
Hmm.
it's about building the relationships. What connects us as people first, and trying to add value to their lives. So it
Right.
doesn't start with real estate. Of course, the moment that someone knows that I do real estate, the first thing is how's the market,
Yeah.
and then we go down that rabbit hole for a while. But I have never led with, oh, are you interested in buying a house? Are you interested in selling a house?
Hmm.
For me, that comes way later, and it doesn't come from me. So I would never ask someone, are you in the market, or do you want to sell or buy? For me, it's like, what information do you need?
Mm.
Some people are just curious. Some
Right.
people are maybe thinking in selling or buying in 2 3 years, and they just, gouging. And some people are, I'm thinking of buying. They will bring it up when they start feeling safe, that I'm not an agent that I will bite their head off and say, hey, yeah, oh, do you want to sell? Do you want to buy? This is my card.
Right.
So as long as they see that that's not what I'm there for,
Hmm.
um, and we start building a relationship that is based mostly on value add,
Hmm.
and they see that I care, I try to. And last year was a very good example of this. I met a couple of people who they said, "Oh, how's the market?" And we start talking about the market, and they said, I was thinking about selling, and I actually told them, do you really need to sell? Because if you don't need to sell, this is not the right time to sell here.
Mm.
And they were very surprised, and they said, why do you say that? So we went over the market and what's happening. And I'm like, if you don't have to sell, and of course we have to sit down and look at your situation independently. This is not a good time to. This is not a good market to sell in Arizona.
Yeah.
And their reaction was like, oh, normally any agent would talk to, they say, oh, okay, when do you want to sell? I'm like, I'm putting myself in your shoes, and
Hmm.
I'm advising myself, like, what if I wasn't in real estate, what I would like the other person to tell me?
Yes.
What would I do in your place with the information I have? And this is how I go about talking with my clients or with people that I meet,
Right.
because a lot of people, yes, getting paid is fantastic, closing deals is fantastic, but what good would it do to me if I give you the wrong advice we do a deal together, and then you say, oh my gosh, you didn't advise me right, so I'm not going to use you again. I'm not going to refer you again. And then you lose a relationship you have cultivated.
And negative word of mouth as well,
Yes, of
right?
course.
So it sounds like, by, advising folks, not with a transactional approach, but just with a relational approach, number one, you're establishing thought leadership, right? You're the expert. That person you described who you've told, hey, now is not a good time to buy. If you're telling me that, I'm thinking, oh, this person is an expert. They know the market, but also you're not just out for yourself, you're out for me and my interest. And so having that long-term approach you're seeing is helping with, yeah, eventually maybe that person is going to come to you. But if and when you do help them, they're going to have a great experience. They're going to refer you and they're going to share, how relational and positive the
Yes,
experience
and
was.
and I think this is why I have been doing quite like my business has been getting better over the years, regardless on the market.
Uh-huh.
Only because I take care of my clients. I don't see them as clients,
Yeah.
as friends,
Yeah.
and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
They trust that I'm going to tell them the truth. They trust that I'm going to do what's in their best interest.
Yeah.
And because it's a cumulative, right? So you meet, the more people you meet as you go, the more people you work with. And if those people stick with you, then you get more clients, more referrals, and then it builds up. So last year was my best year in 25 years I'm doing real estate.
Wow.
A very tough market. This year is coming up to that point. We have a few more months, but I think I'm going to be in line to do the same or better. So yes, we can blame the market, and I can say, well, if the market was not like this, I would have done a lot more, and maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
But there are always people who buy and sell.
That's right.
Circumstances, like there is a divorce, there is a death, there is a birth, there is relocations, people coming, people going. There are always people who are buying and selling, and you just need to be in front of those people.
Yeah. Well, another unique capability that you have is you speak multiple languages, right?
Yes.
So if I have it correct, you speak obviously English, but also
I'm trying.
You're doing great. But also Greek and Spanish. Any other languages? Those three?
No, that's it.
So how has being multilingual also helped you, build a rapport with clients and especially international clients and helping them relocate?
Well, it's a lot easier when you can connect to their level, especially international clients. Most people have basic knowledge of English. Like growing up in Greece, we had to learn English because no one else speaks Greek.
Right.
But most people in Europe or South America, they have some basic knowledge. So you could communicate if you didn't speak the language.
Sure.
Now, by speaking the language, we're coming back to trust. Oh,
yes.
You speak my language, you're going to make it, you understand me more, because language is also, I live there also in Greece. So I know the culture, I know the mindset.
Yeah.
So they feel that I understand them in a deeper level when I work with them. And also when I speak with the Spanish speakers, because I learned Spanish in London, I haven't lived in their culture, but I have made an effort. So in their eyes, it's different from the Greek clients. In their eyes, it's like, okay, you didn't need to learn Spanish. You never lived in a Spanish-speaking country, but you made the effort to learn my language.
Yeah.
So that builds also trust. And in my Spanish, although when I moved here from England, my Spanish was 100% fluent. I have lost it slightly, especially when it comes to real estate transactions. I still can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm fluent in a way, but it takes me some more time. So they see the effort I'm putting into communicating with them, and they appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Because
makes a lot of sense.
I could say I speak to you in English, it doesn't matter, but I'm putting the effort in to make it easier for them to communicate. So that adds to the trust value too.
Yeah, that's a wonderful lesson in relationship development there. Well, I want to get into, how you are helping clients relocate, and especially military clients. But before we do that, let's listen to a short message from our sponsor, Sphere Rocket.
Business owners and entrepreneurs will place a proven executive assistant VA for just $4 to $8 an hour, and if they don't perform, you don't pay. Imagine freeing up 20 plus hours a week by someone handling your most time-consuming tasks like admin work, managing emails, scheduling meetings, and so much more. This one hire could transform your productivity and give you back the time you need to focus on growing your business. At Sphere Rocket VA, we make this possible in as little as 7 days. We'll place a proven executive assistant VA in your business for just $4 to $8 an hour, and your VA will take over day-to-day administrative tasks, help manage your email and calendar, follow up with past clients, giving you back 20 plus hours a week so you can increase your sales and even enjoy more personal time. And here's the best part. If they don't give you back 20 plus hours a week in the first month, you don't pay Sphere Rocket a dime. We've done this for thousands of business owners, and now it's your turn to see the results. Click the link around this video to schedule a demo and discover how this one hire can completely change how you run your business. Remember, if within 45 days the VA doesn't perform, you don't pay.
All right, we are here with Alexia Bertsatos, and she is sharing all of her fantastic insights on her experience in the real estate industry, her global travel, and how she is helping clients specifically in Arizona. Alexia, I know that you specialize in relocation, and specifically military relocation as well. What helps you really identify the market of military members, and how do you uniquely help them?
I got into helping military when I was in ASU. So my graduate program was how the built environment affects our brain activity, and I was working with PTSD, substance abuse, depression, and that led me into the veteran community.
Yeah.
That's how I got to work with them. First of all, as creating healing environments for them or finding the right places for them. And I got to work with US vets, and we did a really amazing project with the International Interior Design Association in 2011, which was wonderful. So after that, that was the first time I started working with the veteran community. And that was when I started learning a lot more about it. And it was a little bit of a sensitive subject because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are being promised all these things in order to enlist in the military. And then when you come back, it's not the same.
Not always what's promised.
No, it's not the same. So it goes back to, that's not fair kind of knowledge, and what can I do about it? I did my military relocation certification and started working with veterans. In general, relocation is my passion, so I help anyone relocate anywhere, but not only into Arizona, out of Arizona, and also abroad. But military is a little bit more of a sensitive, I have a little bit of a soft spot.
Absolutely. What are some of the common misconceptions or mistakes that military families make that you are helping guide them through and helping them avoid those mistakes when they are relocating?
The one thing about military relocation is it comes out of the blue. Like sometimes people don't know they're relocating.
Oh yeah, good point.
It's very fast. It can happen really quick. And, with PCS orders, some people, I had the family that was relocating some years back, and the process was they got the order, and then they had about a month, maybe, to move and do everything in a new state. So for me, normally people, when they think about relocating, it takes some time.
Right.
You get emotionally and mentally prepared and say, oh, this promotion may be coming. This change of work may be coming, or it comes from you and you say, I need the change of environment. I need, to leave California. I need to go to Arizona.
Right.
For whatever reasons, but it takes some preparation. So you're mentally prepared, emotionally prepared. Maybe you're not prepared 100% for the relocation, because of course there are a lot of nuances. But when it comes to military relocation, sometimes it's sudden.
Yes.
You get your orders, now time to move. And that is, I think, the most difficult part about the relocation is the emotional and the mental nuance. Because everything else, like the practical part, finding a house, getting pre-approved and all of that, that's mostly streamlined.
Right.
If you have a good lender and you have a good realtor that they know what they're doing, that is a process. Yeah. Now, so for me, it's more about being there for them on a different level, because most people can do, like most capable real estate agents can sell a house.
Right.
Or find a house. And lenders can do the same thing with the financing side. But having a team, and I proud myself of the team I have around me with lenders and title and all my team. I've been working with them for a long time, and I collect. That's how I say I collect my people, because they have to have the same values as me. They have to see the business the same way as me, because they reflect who I am and the way I do business. So for us, it's very important that, again, we go back to trust, understanding, and that is more than the actual buying and selling of a house. Yeah.
Now, obviously, we've mentioned it a few times here on this episode that you have moved many times to different countries. How has moving and relocating so much yourself helped you guide your clients in relocating?
It's because I've been there and I have done that. And actually, it's not between states, it's between countries. So going from Greece to England, it was a culture shock.
I bet.
Then from England to here was another culture shock. So I have gone to extremes. It's like, and you start from almost, when I went from Greece to England, I knew no one.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know the culture. I didn't know the language really well. And I lived in the East London, so they had a very thick accent as well. So it was hard for me to adopt, and I started understanding. Yeah. And then moving here, I just knew one person.
Oh, wow.
When I moved. So it was starting again from the beginning. So I understand what it feels like to not know.
Right.
You don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't know what's the best place to be. Like Arizona, for instance, we have different cities, and different cities offer different lifestyle choices.
That's right.
So for me, it's first understanding not what they're looking for in a house, understanding their lifestyle, understanding them as people, what's important to them. Because that will guide where are you going to be placed? Like, what is the best place for you? Because you can find the best house and you may love the house, but what happens if you don't like the neighborhood, the city, the lifestyle, the people around you and how they think?
Makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, you need to find your tribe in a new place.
That's right.
So for me, because I've been there, I've been on my own, I had to find my tribe. I had to find my place. I'm trying to do the same thing for them so they don't have to do it alone. And the other thing I do is I try to connect them beyond a house. I try to connect them with people I know.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful.
So I had a client relocating here from the Carolinas some years ago, and I thought, oh my gosh, she will be a perfect fit with one of my best friends, because they were both VPs of big companies, both women, very successful. And I'm like, maybe I will do that connection.
Yeah.
And they became best friends. They became more than best friends. They became family. Yeah. And that's how her circle grew. And she felt like home because she was able to meet people that she connected with. So
that's wonderful.
So I like connecting people with people that I may know that they will be a good fit.
Yeah, and you really take that client relationship to the next level to really help people connect.
Yeah,
at
for
a
me,
deeper
it's
level
more
of
about
community.
creating relationships make you feel like home.
Yeah.
Because no one did that for me. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I was quite lucky when I came here. When I went to England, it was different. But when I came here, I had one of my friends, and she helped me a lot with introductions.
Yeah.
But that's how I see that it's so important, especially if someone moves here and knows no one.
Right.
If you can facilitate something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for you, moving into all these different countries without knowing somebody. I used to skateboard for a living, and so I did a lot of moving. And, after living in the same house for 20 years growing up, I then followed that with moving 9 times in 7 years, 5 times cross country.
Oh my God.
And sometimes I didn't know a person, but the major difference was I was in the same country, so at least I knew the language, even if I didn't know the community or I didn't know the people. So I can't imagine what that would have been like had I not known the language. I'm curious, you referenced how there are different lifestyle opportunities in different cities in Arizona, and it's such a unique place to live. Share with me maybe 3 different cities and the different type of lifestyles that city provides.
Who they attract, maybe.
Yeah.
So I personally live in Chandler. I love Chandler. I love the East Valley a lot. We have, of course, Scottsdale and PV that everyone knows, and that's a more affluent lifestyle. There are a lot of golf courses and country clubs and restaurants. So it attracts a lot of people relocating from California or Washington, a little bit more affluent. Then we have Gilbert and Queen Creek. They're very family-oriented cities. You see a lot of young families moving here. Great schools as well in Chandler. Chandler is by Intel is in Chandler. So in Chandler, we have a lot of engineers, a lot of young professionals. It's also family oriented. They have been blowing up in the last few years as well, as prices have, people have been moving here from other states. And Arizona, when I moved to Chandler, it was us and the cows afterwards. And now it has expanded so far to Queen Creek and now Santan. It's like the ripple effect, right? And then we have also the West with TSMC, Northwest Phoenix. That is blowing up as well. So there are different places for different people. I'm not saying that someone who can live in Chandler cannot live in Goodyear,
right?
But if we dissect what exactly you're looking for in a lifestyle, then it's a lot easier to place someone or suggest, because if someone doesn't know the state. They could say, and I've had a couple of people that moved here from California and they went because the only place they knew was not everyone knows the whole state. So they know what their friends told them, or if they came to visit once in a while. So outside of Scottsdale, for instance, or maybe Phoenix, a lot of the other cities are not, as popular. So if people know about them, they know about them from friends or because they visited. Right. So they take the recommendation of their friends, but they don't have any other knowledge to compare what they have been told. Right. So I've had clients before that they have chosen city X and they move there and it's not for them. Yeah. And they go through it again and says, oh, maybe city Y would have been better for you because of what you're looking for. Right.
Yeah, that's great insight. Well, just a couple more questions for you here, Alexia. I appreciate you sharing all your insights with us today. You're so impacting people's lives in a positive way, and it's really inspiring to see. When you're done with real estate and you're saying, okay, I'm going to set off, I'm going to retire, what do you want people to remember about what you're building and the impact that you're having?
I don't think I will ever retire. Make a note of that. I think I will be doing it for a long time. But for me, it's very important. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to work with people and for people to trust me. And I feel that giving back is a big to the community. It's very important to me. So for me, it's taking care of my clients, my friends, my kids, anyone who is within my circle or wants to be within my circle, but also taking care of the community. So for me, it's a big part of who I am. And I tend to have a couple of causes that I support every year. And actually one of them is Teen Lifeline, which is suicide prevention for teens. It's very important to me because people are not dealt, the same cards.
That's right.
And some people unfortunately have it a lot harder than others. Yeah. And I am very grateful for what I have and where I am in life. Yeah. That giving back is something that makes me even happier. Yeah. Helping my clients.
I think that's wonderful. Well, final question for you, Alexia. For those listening and watching who are thinking, I'm considering Arizona, or maybe they already live in Arizona and they're planning to sell and buy somewhere else, and they're thinking, wow, this woman has such a great relational approach. She might introduce me to a friend, but and she can guide me certainly to the right area where I can live my best life. How can people get in touch with you in the ways that you'd like them to?
I think I'm everywhere, almost. I have a website through alexiabertsatos.com, and then I'm on social media, Real Estate by Alexia on Instagram and Facebook, Alexia Bertsatos. Text, phone call, DM, email, any.
All the ways.
All the ways. I'm everywhere. So I'm the only Alexia realtor in Arizona. So if someone knows I'm a realtor and my name, then they can find me.
That's you. All right. Well, that's fantastic to know. Well, thank you again, Alexia. I really appreciate you sharing your story, your insights, and helping us understand everything that you've accomplished in your real estate career. Thank you again for joining me on the Leverage Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.